I'm unprepared for today. There's so much I wanted to talk about. I got so much going on right now. I'm having another issue with the monster, and I'm getting tired of paying $100 a month for my phone. I'm trying to break free of the family plan. There's issues with that. I'm not going to talk about that yet or explain anything until I figure out what's going on. I called, and they wanted Michelle. I'm on a family plan with Michelle. It's in her name, and he wanted me to bring her on the line. And well, I don't know how to do conference calls. I told him, I said, I'll probably end up hanging up on you trying to do it. So he said, well, get her to call, and we'll put a note on your account that she's given permission or whatever. So I let Michelle know. And I was getting ready to head out yesterday. Michelle's not home. She's, I believe, in Niagara Falls again. So it took her a while to get back to me because she never has her phone turned up when she's out. She's hard to get a hold of when she's not home. So she finally got back to me, but I was like out of town and got her to call. And she's confused by what they're saying. She's like, but they do have a note now on my account that she's given permission for me to do whatever I want to do with the account. So, but her understanding is I have to pay the balance of what I owe on my new phone, which I think, if I remember correctly, was $364. I can't do that. I can't afford the $100. That's why I want to break free. So I haven't called back yet. I had an issue with the monster when I got out yesterday, when I was out yesterday. It was just so much on my mind. I woke up late today, so I haven't had a chance to call you, but I've been thinking of my options. If that's what they want me to do, then what am I going to do in spite of that? I thought of a whole bunch of different things, including sending the phone back and just screw it. I don't need it, right? And then maybe if I get my own account, I'll get another phone. Right? That's the only way I can think of doing it, because I can't afford to fork out that much money right now. But I'll explain more about that when I get more details on it and see what's actually going to happen with it. Apparently I have 30 days to make a decision. But our account balance right now is zero. That's why I want to do it now, because last time I tried that, they told me the balance on the account had to be paid first. And August 4th, our next bill comes in, so it's not going to be zero again. I can see me getting angry at them. That was one of the things I was thinking of. It's like, I'm not playing your games. I'm sending the damn phone back, cancel my account. Right, that's the way I was thinking of it. But like I said, there were so many things I wanted to talk about. I can't think of anything right now. As far as the monster goes, with the fuses, I still can't find them. I've had lots of suggestions. Well, not lots, but I've had suggestions sent to me. Thank you very much for that. One of them was circuit diagram. Yes, that's the same circuit diagram that's in here, and it's about the same size in here as it is in the computer. So it's just useless. I did go through it. I explained a few things in the project video when it gets to that point. But I'll talk a little bit about it now. As far as the fuses go, there's no fuses. The symbols, the electronic symbols that they have in the circuit diagram, there's no fuses. Not one in that circuit diagram. But I have determined that my lights are not on a loop. Heartway being Heartway, they have positive as the common instead of ground. So it's ground. It's common positive amongst all the lights, and I think the two lower yellow lights above the headlights, I think they're together, and the lights on the tiller, I think they're together, but they're separate. It's not one continuous loop. So something else is happening. It's all connected to my display panel and the controller. Now, the reason that's important is because in here, under headlights or lights, it talks a little bit about them. Maximum 55 watts, I remember that. But it says overload and short circuit protection. That could mean fuse, but it could also mean that the protection is built into the controller, or the protection is built into the display panel. The monster might not have fuses. But plug the charger in at the front, and it goes all the way back to the controller. What happens if there's a problem in between that? There should be fuses there, right? None of it makes any sense. And I had one suggestion. He has a Heartway. He doesn't have the Monster, but he has a Heartway scooter. And he said the fuses are up in the frame rail. That brings a picture in my mind. Frame rail, does that mean where the wires go from the back up to the front? That's what I would consider a frame rail. If that's the case, I'll never get to them because I'm not pulling that wiring harness out just to get... Why would they put fuses in there? And of course, it's Heartway, right? But it makes no sense to put fuses somewhere where you can't access. I'm not saying he's wrong, I'm just saying it fits with what Heartway would do. Put them somewhere where you can't access them. You have to take the whole scooter apart just to get to them. I don't know, guys. So if it comes down to it, I'll make my own circuit and put the lights on a switch. Screw it. Now, as I'm looking at it right now, it's like, that would be easier for me than to unhook everything at the front or the back. Probably the front, because it'd be easier to pull the front wires through the frame than the back. But I don't want to do that and find out that's not where the fuses are, right? I do have one more option I might consider. All the wires in the front, they've got this big bundle of wires, and it's got heat shrink tubing around it. It's all twisted in that. Is it possible the fuses are inside that? I could see that too, right? They're up front, but we'll just bundle them all together. And I did pull some of it down. I cut the end of the tube and just kind of peeled it back a little bit. But I might just take it all off completely. However, that is minor compared to what's happening right now. So that's not even a priority anymore. Before I say anything else, I cannot say there are no fuses on the Monster. I did find one. Oh, excuse me. I took this... Excuse me one second. Ow. I need my coffee. So I took the seat off, opened the back up. There's exactly one fuse that I could find. There's fuses in there, but they're my fuses I put in for my accessories. There's one fuse. Same as at the front, the wires in the back are all bundled together with a heat shrink around it, and it's got a red wire that comes out to a fuse and then goes back in. It looks like a complete circuit loop thing, right? So I checked that fuse, pulled it out, tested it, it's good. So there's no issue with that fuse, whatever it's for. Put it back in, and next time I was driving the Monster, I noticed my clock had reset. So I am thinking that particular fuse is the memory wire for the display panel, so it'll remember the time and all my settings. That's my guess. Because it would need constant power in order to remember the time and everything. So I'm guessing that's what that fuse is for. But that one's obvious. It's out in the open, sticking out where you can see it, right? All the important stuff is, if there are fuses for it, like I said, then they're hidden. So, I went out for a nice long out-of-town tour yesterday, all the dirt roads and everything. Beautiful drive. because we're into nice hot temperatures now. It is September something. My light didn't help any. It actually made it worse. It's September 3rd today. I thought so. I just wanted to make sure. So, we're having summer temperatures still. And it looks like it's going to be fairly decent for the next 2 weeks. Of course, it's a 2-week forecast that can change tomorrow. But for now, we get some nice hot temperatures. Storms for tomorrow again. But it's going to cool off a little bit, but it's going to stay in the 20s, mid-20s. And I saw another 30-degree day in there, so yay. September. Kids will be going back to school soon, and that's when I consider summer to be over. So mentally, I'm thinking, great. I'll save that for later. But I was out yesterday, and at some point towards the end of the tour, I started hearing this noise. When I hit a big bump, I hear it sounded like a creak. And I looked down, and the wiring bundle that I have that comes down from the roll bar for my accessories and goes down the inside, the tire was scraping it when I hit a big bump. So I stopped down at the river soccer fields, and I looked at it, and the tire was like almost right against it. So I'm thinking, well, that's not good. Didn't know what was causing that. So I took a better look at it, and I thought maybe one of my zip ties had broken and this wire bundle had moved closer. So, okay. I continued on. I stopped at Timmy's, the second round of Timmy's yesterday, before I did part 2 of my tour. I'm sweating like crazy here. I got itchy back. Actually, that's my mole that's itching. It happens when I sweat. So, I grabbed my coffee, and as I'm going through Timmy's parking lot, it's pretty bumpy. And after that, when I'm going down the highway, the tire is now rubbing on my wire cluster constant, not just when I hit bump. So I just kind of twisted them around the frame as best I could to get them out of the way, but that tells me there's something wrong. And after that, when you think something is wrong, you start imagining everything, and then, okay, well, that's not right. You start imagining. That's what I thought it was doing. But when you get to know your vehicle and it starts acting funny, you know it. You don't know what the issue is, but you know something is wrong. That's kind of what I was getting. And it just seemed like a really stiff ride. I wasn't getting that nice, smooth. It just didn't seem right. So I got thinking, maybe something is wrong. Well, obviously something's up with the rear suspension. And it just, I don't even know how to explain it. I got thinking, well, maybe my hinge is seizing up again. Or the spring is broken or shot. Or inside, because you remember that frame flex I was showing that I was kind of concerned about? Where I welded, it's still good. But right in front of that weld, where the spring attaches to the frame, you got that frame rail that's got a hole in the center where this thing is belted. So I'm thinking that's a weak spot. Maybe that is coming apart. Maybe it's ripping there. And the back of the monster is sagging. Well, if that was the truth, then I would still be getting... This is what I was thinking. I was thinking about this all night last night, and while I was out today. I'm going to switch to another camera. Hey, so when I got home, okay, first of all, I'll show you. It's the frame flex I was talking about. That concerns me.
but it doesn't seem to be causing an issue. So when I got home yesterday, I tested. It's still nice and springy. The hinge is not seized up, right? It still bounces. It seems good. And you can see, this was on the inside. This is my wiring harness that I made. It was on the inside, and you can see how close the tire is to it. And when the frame flexes, you can see the tire hits it. At least I hope you can see that. So, so I got looking. I made another monster project video last night, and it was the one where I put the monster all back together, and I pushed it outside so I could transfer the ES950 batteries over to it. And the camera's sitting off to the side over here. There is a lot more space than this between the tire and the frame. So this is definitely down. It's definitely sagging. And I don't know why. Because when I put the fender back on here, there's not a lot of room here for that fender. So it is going to hit. So something is wrong somewhere. Well, when I was out today, it still absorbs the shocks. If I hit a big bump, it still absorbs the shock, but it's just not a smooth ride. If I'm driving on the pavement, I shouldn't be feeling any of the bumps at all, and I can feel everything. So it is definitely stiff. So I got thinking maybe the hinge is seizing up again. It just hasn't got to the point where it's creaking. Well, of course now it's not going to do it. But while I was out today, it's not going to do it now, but it was actually creaking today. Can't hear it. You can hear it. But when I was driving, not the whole day, probably halfway through the tour, I couldn't tell where it was coming from. It kind of sounded like it was in here. So I got thinking, oh crap, don't tell me the frame is breaking. That's been a concern of mine for a while, especially once I saw this flex. Plus the frame's already broke once anyways. So that was my concern today. So when I got to the soccer field, I looked underneath and everything looks good from what I can see. So I am thinking maybe my hinge is seized up again, or seizing. So I might have to change that. The good part about that is I have to take the rear axle off anyway, so I can get that broken bolt out, because I'm not going to get a welder in here, especially with that on, and I don't want to overheat that. So I'm going to have to take it off anyway. So if I have that off, well, not really take it off, just disconnect the spring from it and just drop it down. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well pull the hinge out and reprocess it again. But I can get a good look at what's actually happening in there. And that's my goal, to figure out what's going on. So go back to my other camera.
So here's the issue with that. I don't want to do that. I've been working on this thing all summer, and I can't catch up with the problems. I can't get everything finished. So I don't want to. Once I start doing that, the monster's going to be off the road for a few days. And I'll probably have to go back to the DS950. I should pull it out just to make sure, just in case I'm going to need it. I don't want to deal with this. It's the end of summer. My crap storm's already started. It's not bad. Right now it's not everything going wrong, but a lot of things are happening. that are kind of making life difficult, but it's not the full force yet, and I'm still in my remission period. My illness hasn't come crashing back down on me yet, which is coming soon. So I need to do this now, but now is when we're getting the nice hot temperatures that I want to go out and enjoy. So do I start this now? I don't want to do it at all, but it has to be done. Because if there's something else going on and it's not the hinge, I kind of need to know that now before, the monster breaks in half out on the road. I laugh at that, but, the way things are going, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what to do here. I'm just tired. Every year, I want to go out and do a nice autumn colors tour out of town in places I haven't done that yet. Every year, I can't do that because every year, I have an issue with the monster this time of year. I'm afraid to take the monster out of town now. I'm only doing an in-town tour. I'll go up to Lower Wing and that's it. I won't go out on the dirt roads. So, I don't know. I can't think of anything else to talk about. If I knew for sure it was the hinge, I wouldn't worry about it right now. I don't know. That's my guess. I just don't know. But either way, it's something that has to be addressed soon. Very soon. And of course, being hot in here doesn't give me an incentive to work. Yeah, I got 30 degrees exactly here. Oh, make sure it's level. Get that light reflection away. So, it's too hot to work in here right now. I don't know. I don't know. So my aunt's house was supposed to close. The sale was supposed to close in August. It didn't. I'm not sure exactly. The lawyer was pretty pissed off about it. It's something to do with mortgage insurance. I don't know anything about that, so I don't know. But that was something. My sister said it's going to cost them more money now, so does that mean they're still going to buy? Hopefully. I need that money. But, like I said to her, when she told me, that it was supposed to close tomorrow, I said to her, I said, I bet you're happy. One less thing to worry about. And she said, oh yeah. And apparently my mother's waiting for that money too, so, it's just prolonging things. So hopefully, I'm thinking it still hasn't settled because I haven't heard from my sister about it. So I don't know. I can't think of anything else that I haven't already talked about. I know I had a bunch of things, but I guess that's it. If I can think of anything else, we'll save it for another update. Hopefully a better update than this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey, one more part. I know you're not going to see this very well because of the camera I'm using, but I knelt on the seat so I could plug the charger in, turn it on, and listen to this. And I rock the monster sideways.
that's when I'm getting creaking. And it's not centering. If I pull it off to this side, it stays there. If I push it, it stays to the other side. So that tells me it's seizing up. And if you look here, I don't know how well you can see this, but this battery tray is leaning towards the back, which means this is compressed more than it should be. This should be level. And there should be a lot more space in between the tire and the frame here, so I'm guessing, I'm hoping it's that simple that the hinge is seized up again, because that's something I can fix. I'm not exactly going to say easily. I just don't want to, but and it looks like I might have to.